The night was supposed to be like any other. Officers from the local police department were conducting routine patrols when they spotted a vehicle swerving between lanes. The officers initiated a traffic stop, suspecting the driver might be under the influence. As they approached the car, they found a woman behind the wheel who appeared flustered but cooperative. The officers requested her license and registration, noticing the faint scent of alcohol lingering in the air. She admitted to having a few drinks earlier in the evening, but insisted she was fine to drive. The officers proceeded with a field sobriety test, which she struggled to complete successfully. The breathalyzer reading confirmed their suspicion. She was over the legal limit. Following protocol, they placed her under arrest, cuffed her hands behind her back, and escorted her to the police station. Throughout the process, she maintained a composed demeanor, cooperating without resistance. As they processed her, she quietly observed the officers, her eyes scanning their faces, almost as if she were committing them to memory. After spending a night in the holding cell, she was released on bail the next morning, pending her court appearance. The officers thought little of the incident. It was just another DUI case, one of many they encountered in their line of work. They moved on with their daily duties, unaware of the surprise that awaited them. Weeks later, the officers were called to testify in a routine courtroom proceeding related to the arrest. Dressed in full uniform, they entered the courtroom, ready to present their report. As they took their places and the court proceedings began, the judge walked in. To their shock, the woman presiding over the case was the very same individual they had arrested that night. A murmur swept through the courtroom as the officers exchanged stunned glances. The woman, now dressed in formal judicial robes, sat at the bench with an authoritative presence. She acknowledged their surprise with a composed expression, tapping her gavel to bring order. She addressed the courtroom, stating that due to the conflict of interest, she would not be overseeing her own case. However, her position allowed her to assign a different judge for the matter. Despite the awkwardness of the situation, she remained professional, ensuring the case was handled with fairness and impartiality. After the session, the officers approached her, still in disbelief at the turn of events. She smiled and admitted that life had an ironic sense of humor. She shared that she had previously served as a defense attorney before being appointed as a judge. That night, she had been attending a celebratory gathering with colleagues, unaware that the next morning would bring such an unexpected reality check. One of the officers, still stunned, asked her how she felt about the arrest. She responded with honesty. While she wished the situation had unfolded differently, she respected the officers for doing their job. The incident had been a humbling experience, a reminder that no one was above the law, not even those who upheld it. The case proceeded with a different judge, and she accepted the consequences of her actions. In the end, she was fined and had her license temporarily suspended. But the officers left with a newfound respect for her integrity. Over time, their professional paths crossed again, but now under different circumstances. They saw her preside over cases with fairness and dignity, proving that one moment of misjudgment did not define an entire career. The story became a local legend, a cautionary tale about fate, irony, and the unwavering reach of justice. It was a reminder that authority figures, too, were human, and accountability was a principle that applied to all, no matter their position in society.